In today's video, we'll be looking at the NPC AI patent for virtual navigation, which reveals details about the in-game traffic in Grand Theft Auto 6 and how it will be more realistic than ever before. We'll discuss all the incredible improvements Rockstar has made from prior GTA games, a much more complex system that will bring the world to another level. We'll summarize the patent, we'll look at multiple posts about this system, and by the end of the video, we'll have a better idea of what Rockstar will bring to the table with the NPC navigation in GTA 6. A friendly reminder, if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button, leave a like on the video as most of my viewers are not subscribed. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for all the support. It'd be great if we could reach it. If you haven't joined the Discord server yet, make sure to join from the link in the description. A huge thank you to Relamore, Nick Augenbau, and Mike the Nerd for being members of the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you like what I do and want to support the channel further, you can also become a member. Also, yes, the Q&A is still on the table, so if you have any questions and want to be featured, make sure to leave them either in the comments of this video or go to my latest community post. So the patent that we'll be discussing in today's video is called System and Method for Virtual Navigation in a Gaming Environment. Firstly, this patent gives us some background information. They tell us that this patent is for the non-playable characters in the environment. They say that the actions of NPCs in the game can be programmed in an artificial intelligence manner, such as that their actions are made in real time by the NPC algorithm. In some conventional systems, this is done through the so-called nodes and edges, or links. Essentially, nodes have assigned metadata to them that provides relevant game data that can be accessed by the NPC to determine its movement. This metadata can be, for example, in a game that involves vehicles, the speed of the vehicle, lane width, whether it's a highway or a different type of road, the number of lanes, etc. Moreover, a series of these nodes that store all this metadata, a series that an NPC can follow, can represent a route from a starting location to a destination. By the way, this will all make sense later. This is how it worked in GTA 5. Additionally, let's say you have a straight section of road. Nodes may be connected in a simple linear fashion that creates a path that goes in a single direction. Conversely, in junctions, these nodes would of course be more complex. So in a simple intersection, for example, a vehicle traveling through that road would enter from one of the connections and then have 3 choices for exiting the node. 4 if U-turns are allowed. In these conventional systems, how it was in GTA 5, a node-based vehicle may make arbitrary decisions at junctions, wandering behavior. So they may not consider certain factors such as traffic, but may only avoid vehicles and objects around it. The conventional method falls through when it has to account for weather conditions, changing lanes when parking cars, anticipating a road exit, etc. Factors a human would usually account for in real life. Another drawback of the node-based system is that it can provide limited resources for automating NPCs. For example, the memory and processing power would only allow for a certain number of NPC-controlled cars that's predetermined to be spawned in the game. Of course, players would want to see more NPC-controlled cars for a realistic experience. Furthermore, in conventional systems, NPC would perform the same motions, and some may even fade out of existence as the player approaches them. Moreover, in GTA 5, for example, the system relies on local traffic avoidance for NPCs to avoid collisions, meaning that NPCs check each frame for any obstructions in the local environment. Checks for vehicles, pedestrians, objects by creating a front-facing polygon. It also generates information about the road and determines the best steering angle for the vehicle to avoid collisions with objects or going off-road. So the system checks each frame, but no knowledge of the previous frame is used, so this delays the detection, makes it slower. Additionally, if the road is blocked, the system accepts it as if there is something on the road that needs to be avoided, since it only checks for obstructions and not as if there is a road blockage. So Rockstar has developed an NPC system that overcomes all of these issues of the conventional systems. This system manages the nodes and node graphs of the NPCs in a way that achieves desirable results and is not limited by the hardware and software limitations, and is of course significantly more complex. NPCs will account for changes and be more spatially aware, but not only, they will change route based on data collected from the world. This new system will also work in conjunction with the tagging system we discussed in previous videos, where through the nodes, the system will check for tags to see, for example, if a road leads to a junction that has no exits for big vehicles. If that was the tag, then no big vehicles should be allowed to enter. But moreover, with this system, NPCs will account for vehicle types/models that have various speed restrictions and benefits. Also acceleration times/distances, braking times/distances, top speed, cornering speeds, vehicle size, etc. They can recognize when they're in a police chase, etc. So NPCs will take a lot of data from the world into account. account. They will be more situationally aware. I would also like to take a look at this summary by Skater. I'll leave a link to the original post in the description. Video games are populated by NPCs who are able to make real-time decisions based on their environment. Games use specific systems for NPCs to traverse the game world. However, this system is very limited, and thus the decisions NPCs can make are very limited as well. NPCs in vehicles only consider their close vicinity but nothing else. Also, to avoid collisions, NPCs only consider the last generated frame and base their reaction on that. No prior frames are considered. Rockstar has invented a new system which aims to fix these issues and make NPCs more intelligent and thus make the game world feel more realistic. NPCs can now consider factors like traffic as well as account for changing lanes when parking, anticipating a road exit, weather conditions, and the like. There are more than a predetermined number of NPC-controlled cars in the game now for a realistic experience for the player. Vehicles can now plan accordingly in case there is any type of road blockage. This also applies to police cars being able to navigate their way through traffic during a chase. There's also another breakdown of the patent I'd like to take a look at. It's from 3 years ago. You can find links to all posts in the description. Takeaway from yesterday's patent post. I've read over the patent post from yesterday and I noticed a lot of people missed the most exciting information in it. I'll sum it up in a non-technical language. It's essentially a method to improve vehicle AI when driving. Currently, when NPCs drive on the road, they can sense a few cars around them to determine crashes or other things that drive around. This is dumb AI as it has very few factors to take into account and requires a lot of computational resources. This is why vehicles despawn when far away, to free up the CPU. Rockstar's patent describes a system that primarily will change this and give NPCs more situational awareness. They will essentially have an objective of navigating from one location to another, simplified but is essentially in making routines similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, and be able to take into account other external factors. Coolest of all, NPCs will still exist when your game isn't rendering them in this implementation. Specific examples mentioned by Rockstar state they will be able to use weather conditions, traffic, and crashes to determine where to go. Some areas might be dangerous in the rain, they might avoid it. If an area has too much traffic, they will avoid it. Possible destructible environmental areas could be reacted to, similar to bridges in Just Cause, this point in speculation however. Cars will also be able to take into account number of lanes and speed in their decisions. NPCs will also be able to take into account high-speed chases and be able to navigate if they themselves are speeding. There will also be other reactions that are mentioned specifically, such as changing lanes before a highway exit appears, and as Rockstar puts it, driving slower on residential type roads or having to perform certain maneuvers to avoid oncoming traffic on single lane streets. The large part they also mention in this implementation uses a lot less processing power. The NPC schedules can be relayed by a central server. They could possibly use the console itself as well, and it doesn't require the same constant surrounding analysis as previous AI. Rockstar mentions this will allow them to have denser traffic with the same resources. A large aim also seems to be realism. Rockstar's patent mentions realistic reactions to various factors as being the main intent. For example, NPCs will each have different driving ability levels based on the driver in the car. Essentially, each driver will have its own profile and have unique driving characteristics as well as skill level. Some might speed, others might not. Each vehicle will also affect the driving of these vehicles. We are about to see this new system in action in GTA 6. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. Subscribe to the channel for more GTA 6 videos just like this one. Join the Discord from the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.